If you have knee pain, or by the end of the day you find it extremely swollen, you're in the right place. Because I'm going to teach you the best massage techniques to both drain that knee and relieve the pain. The best part is we'll do it sitting down, not on the floor but on a stool. In fact, to do this massage, you're going to need a pair of hands, a little spoon like this one, and finally a stool to sit on. So, if you're interested and you have the motivation, let's do it. Let's sit on that chair. I'm going to massage my left knee. Can you do both? Start with the one that hurts most. The main thing is to start gently, touching softly with some techniques called strokes, which is simply a superficial touch that starts to stimulate both the more superficial blood flow, small veins and arteries in the skin, as well as sensitivity. This starts to lower muscle tone, begins to relax the area, and makes you feel much better. We take our hands, place them at the level of the tibia, and slowly move them up, without any pressure, to the middle of the thigh, very gently, rhythmically, calmly, as if we wanted to caress the entire knee. 10 passes are plenty. How many have we done? 6, 10, 10. 12, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 29, 33. 38. Come on, last 2. Slowly on the surface, caressing the whole leg. 9. We can even do circular movements. Look, from bottom to top. You can make it as complicated as you want, but it's enough to just brush, to caress that knee. Once we've prepared the dish, we're going to find its most important ingredient, which is the kneecap. The kneecap is a little bone that we all have right here in front of our knee, and it works as a lever to pull the leg using our muscles that are located in the thigh. Finding it may vary, but everyone has a kneecap. Just be clear about that. The best way to find it is to sit as we are now and touch the front of your knee. The most protruding distal part is the kneecap. If you tap it with your finger, you'll hear it's more hollow and quite hard. If you tap in an area where there is no bone, the sound won't be as hollow and you'll find a softer area. It's important to not only locate the kneecap, but also outline and find its edges, since we'll use various techniques around them. So take your time, a minute or two, to really recognize your kneecap and then to find lower down. Mine is here. Go over all the sides and finally finish at the top part. This top part is a little bit more difficult, but it's not that important. If you are able to find the patella and place it in front of your knee, that's more than enough. Once you've found it, pause the video if you haven't already. Let's start with a simple technique to massage around the patella. And it goes like this. We place our fingers at the level of the patellar tendon, which is a tendon that goes from the patella to the tibia. We anchor our index and middle fingers here, applying slight pressure, and then we move upwards. We go around the entire patella up to the quadriceps. That's it, we just press a little. That's practical. A bit of pressure, rounding on the outside, and I trace around the circumference of my patella. This area here, around the patellar tendon, has a lot of space inside. It's a place that has a lot of fluid and that holds a lot of inflammation. So we're going to start draining it using these techniques. I press, pull out, and lift up. I press, pull out, go around that kneecap, and lift up. Just a few more. Can you put on some cream? Of course, if your skin bothers you a lot, or if you feel any burning or irritation. As I run my fingers, I bend my fingers, make a circle here, go up. One more press, make a circle, go up. Should we work more on the patellar tendon? No, we don't want that. I go up. Now let's do the opposite, and it's basically the same thing. I place my fingers on the upper part of the kneecap, and now what I want is to trace it on the outside until my fingers meet in the front. This one's a bit harder. Use your knee's edge as a reference and wrap your fingers around it. We'll need a bit more strength here. And I go down, press my fingers here, wrap them around the kneecap, and finally bring them together underneath over the patella tendon. Press here, wrap, bring together. Press here, wrap, bring together and go down. Press here, wrap, bring together and go down. Let's do 3 more. press, wrap, bring together, then go down. And what we're basically doing is starting here with our fingers, going around the outside. Let's see if I can go around the outside, and finishing right here, in front. I press here, circle around, go down to the patella tendon. That's all there is to it. Let's do a couple more. I press here and circle, watch the video, and we go all the way down. Close, circle around here, we start and go all the way down. Very good. The knee area is a place where many muscles end, and therefore we have many tendons. We have the patella tendon right here in the front, and we have the quadriceps tendon that attaches to the kneecap right above here. Inside here, we have the dreaded pes anserinus that many of you know. Over here, we have the biceps femoris. We are going to learn how to locate all of this and massage it effectively, whether you have pain on the inside or outside of your knee. Let's start with the first and largest tendon, the thick patellar tendon. What it does is transmit the force that the quadriceps pulls on our kneecap, and that kneecap transmits it through the tendon to the tibia. To find it, just locate the lower part of your kneecap. No magic needed. Remember, hard, hard, hard. And right when I go down here, it's much softer. Hard, soft, hard. Soft, hard, soft. Well, there, the soft part is where that tendon is. And as we go further down, soft, soft, soft. Until I get here, there's like a bump, a prominence that's hard. Depending on your anatomy, it can stand out more or less. For me, it's very noticeable. You can nearly see it at the lateral camera level. Soft, see? So what we're going to do is place our fingers. It can be our thumbs like this, or it can be our index and middle fingers like this. I prefer using my thumbs. And we're going to do a zigzag massage. Here what we need to do is apply a little more pressure, use a bit more force, and work on that patellar tendon. You must always keep your leg fully relaxed. If you're tense, the contraction travels through the tendon, making it harder for us to massage. In fact, look, here I'm relaxed, my fingers sink in easily. I don't know if you can see it. Here I'm contracting, and look, they don't sink in at all, right? Do you see it here, the difference? Relaxed, watch closely, contracted, relaxed, contracted. See how my fingers move outward, right? Because of the power that muscle has. So let's try to relax it as much as possible. You can try different bends. A little more with your leg forward, a little more with your leg back. Generally, the less you bend this knee, the better, okay? So move that foot forward so you can relax that tendon properly. We work a little in this direction, put on a little cream, and then we switch and do zigzag in the other direction. Our patellar tendon wrap is also very useful. Otherwise, to drain all that fluid that's right in that area, and we can do 20-30 seconds in each of the positions. With a certain intensity. Very good. And again, little bit in the opposite direction, intensity. If we want to massage that tendon in a deeper, more focused, harder way, we can use this small spoon that I've already mentioned to you. We're going to use the handle on the underside. And from here, from the lower point of our kneecap, we can follow that patellar tendon all the way to its insertion, which is basically here, this little section, okay? This little section. I start up here, dig in a little with the spoon, and work the tendon down to the lower finger. It's much lighter but more intense because it's like a sting that goes deeper into the tendon. If that's too much, we can use the blunt side of the spoon and gently glide it along the entire tendon area so that the spoon can deeply relax the tendon. Both vertically, from top to bottom, as well as transversely from side to side. From side to side, it's less pleasant, okay? See how the spoon moves? When I contract, it goes in a lot, then moves outward. Can you see that from the side? It extends outward, and I know exactly where that point is. Here you can clearly see that patellar tendon, and we can work on it with our handle, either more deeply or with a more superficial pass. Both are very effective. After working on the lower kneecap to the patellar tendon, we'll move to the upper part. This is where any large muscle that starts from our hip and reaches our knee inserts. Here I do recommend bending your knee a little more, finding that surface, that upper angle at the level of the knee. Use your little spoon. It's simple from here. We'll do small movements. Use your left hand to grab your skin, and with your right hand, if you're right-handed, make small movements, very close to the knee. You have the kneecap as if we were blurring it through the muscles. Use that drawing handle and scrape the entire tendon surface, the part that inserts at the level of the kneecap. Very good. As shown from the side to the top. And then we can use the opposite hand, which will always hold the skin. You don't need to use much pressure to work on the opposite side. The spoon really becomes internalized, it's very deep. And we can work all around the kneecap, approximately 20, 30, 40 seconds, whatever you need. If an area hurts more, you should ideally spend more time on it with the spoon. Very good. After addressing that muscle insertion, we'll move on to something more general and get to work. We leave the spoon here. The quadriceps muscles, we've worked on that insertion, but there's still all this muscle, as I said, that runs from the hip to the knee. And here we can try several things. I like to use my fists, press firmly against my muscle, and with a little bit of cream, let this slide all the way to the kneecap. Very good, not just on top, but also a bit inside. To work on the adductors, we can uncover the leg a little more so that those muscles are more relaxed. We pull. That's it. Very good. And if the skin gets irritated, don't hesitate to apply a little bit of cream. That's it. How long? Well, as long as you want. I'm really teaching you several techniques. Stick with the one that gives you the best feeling or the one that directly targets the area where you feel the pain. We've worked on the tendon area, including the patellar tendon, quadriceps insertion, and the quadriceps itself. We've fully drained the knee. Next, we'll discuss the pes anserinus, which many of you may know or recognize. The pes anserinus consists of 3 muscles originating at the hip, and they end up inserting here at the level of our tibia. It's actually the opposite. They form a small goose's foot that attaches to the inner tibia, and sometimes it even comes to the front position. It's formed by the sartorius, up here in the front. Next is the gracilis from the adductors, and finally the semitendinosus from the hamstrings, which comes from back here. Those 3 make up the pes anserinus. This way, we're going to work them from a more superficial point of view, with a fist and with the fingers, for a deeper approach. Grabbing that tendon, that muscle that hangs here on the inner part of the knee. It's pretty simple. Don't think you need deep knowledge or a 4-year degree to massage the inner part of your leg a little. Yes, the effects will be positive, as physical contact alone is strongly linked to pain relief. Let's get to it. Remember, we place our closed fists, our knuckles, on the inner part of our thigh. With the other hand, we hold that thigh so it doesn't move. And from here, look, we go along. Not just to the knee, I want you to go down even a little bit in front of the shin. 1, let's repeat. Press here, I apply steady pressure, pull forward, go under. 2, that's it. Again, perfect, very good. We're going to move from more general, broader, less specific techniques to more specific techniques using the fingers, okay? 5, there are many massage methods. Choose what works best for you. 6, that gives you the best results. The better. 7 sensations, we're just going to do 8 so it doesn't get too long, always below the tibia, and 8. We used the fist before, now we'll use 3 fingers, index, middle, and ring. Let's firmly rest on our knee to keep it still. And look, now I come from here, this part, you see I have a little gap. Look, I'm simply in line with my calf, and from here I'm going to work. All that tendon up to, just in front of the tibia. Keep your leg relaxed and avoid contracting it, since contracting makes the muscles tense. The massage doesn't have the same meaning or effect. This is much more uncomfortable than a relaxed leg, relaxed where the muscles are soft. I insert my fingers, I put them in, that's it, the hand in front, very good. 2, I insert my fingers, I go in front, 3 fingers in front. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Come on, we said 8, but I did one more, so that's 9. If this has worked, your skin isn't too irritated, and you want to try something more intense, we can try tweezing. Watch closely, I'll put my fingers here. There's a gap between my inner and outer muscles. I insert my fingers and then grab that muscle from the outside, right here at the joint. Knee flexion, I grab, my fingers go like this, they pull outward, my thumb is supported. And what I want you to do is like it's a guitar. Look, we're going to pull those fingers outward as if you wanted to pinch. I grab the muscle and then I slide until my fingers come together. Apply a little pinching force, but don't overdo it because it won't be pleasant, okay? I insert my fingers, pinch from the opposite side, and gradually slide them outward. Muscular tendon massage. You might notice some jumps at the level of those muscle cords, and that's absolutely normal. We can do it more at the level of the knee joint, more vertically, or a little more on the muscle belly, okay? I invite you to try all of them, all the positions, different pressures to see what sensations they give you. It's also true that this technique is more demanding on your hands and can cause some fatigue, especially in your thumb. A little more, a couple more times. That's a couple more. Very good. 2 more. I pinch those semitendinosus muscles, an inner rectus and sartorius, to treat my pes Anserinus. Very good. Good sensations. Honestly, after having done those techniques. We have one last part left on the outer area of our knee, right here where it ends, the biceps femoris. We can also have lateral leg pain because of the tensor fasciae latae, which we will massage last. But here, to start with the biceps femoris, let me get into a better position. We have to locate the head of the fibula. This is a right leg, so it doesn't look the same, but the fibula is on the outer side. And it's a little bone that's easy to feel on the outside, since it forms our lateral malleolus and the outermost part of the leg. To do this, to locate it, I suggest you place your hand on the outside of your knee and slowly move it down. Once you pass the joint line of the knee, you'll notice a small bump. Usually the tuberosity I mentioned, where the patellar tendon and the fibula attach, are at the same level. Interestingly, we place that hand, move it down, and we see that a bony prominence starts to appear. That's exactly where the head of the fibula is. And if I hit it, I'm not sure if you can hear, it sounds hollow. Hitting lower, it sounds like flesh, not hollow. Here, obviously you don't grab it because it's hard, and that corresponds exactly to the head of the fibula. Why do we find it? Because the musculature of the biceps femoris inserts exactly there and forms, again, a body that's a little less thick than the previous one. Well, actually, quite a bit thinner. It's called the biceps femoris and it's smaller. Now we'll massage it again. Very simple. We're going to use a finger technique from the beginning, here downward, moving those fingers toward the head of the fibula, which, let's remember, is right here. I insert my fingers and stretch. My other hand helps anchor and apply more force up to the head of the fibula. I insert my fingers and stretch up to the head of the fibula. And we continue. Head of the fibula, we continue. Head of the fibula, we continue. Head of the fibula, that's it. Fibula. Fibula. Fibula, come on, let's do this. Fibula. Fibula. Last repetition, fibula. Very good, nice. Apply a small amount of cream. Next, repeat the previous step, the pinza. My fingers go inside, my thumb stays on the outside. I can work close to the fibula, up to here. Remember, I can go a bit further back, okay? Can you try each one of them? There's less range here, okay? My fingers meet very quickly. It's not the same as the muscle mass we have on the inner part of the knee, so it's much faster. Look, I've already done 5. I go down and jump. 6, 7, and I'm moving from the fibula area toward a more medial part of the thigh. 8, 9. Great job. Let's do 2 more. 11. We grip well from the inside at 12, insert my fingers, place the opposite finger, and let it drop. Very good. There's still much to discuss. We've covered many muscles and will continue with more. The tensor fasciae latae, shown here at the pelvis, tightens the fascia lata. A fascia surrounds our thigh, and this muscle is often sensitive to pressure. I'll show you a simple way to address it, especially if you have lateral hip or thigh pain like trochanteritis. Simply closing your fist and placing your knuckles. Pay attention because you're going to need to get yourself into a slightly more organized position. Cut thoraxa, and from here pull that fist outward until we reach the knee. Watch this hand closely. It's for anchoring so the leg stays in place during the massage. I anchor here, push and slide. Push, that's it. With a little bit of cream for those of you with more body hair, and push. A little bit of cream. By the way, don't forget to take off your rings, and because I'm making a square shape, look at what's happening. Let's go again, let's go. 4, let's just do 8, 5. 6. 7, last rep. And 8, very good. And to finish and wrap all this up, a well-deserved floor gas. Superficial gliding to relax all that skin, those muscles, and improve venous return. Back here on the calf, behind the leg, very good, so our leg stays relaxed. What are the sensations? There can be two. Either you finish feeling very good with no pain relieved, or you finish with some pain. You worked more intensely during the massage. In any case, I recommend you try all the techniques I've taught you. Wow, they've been impressive, remember? We drained the kneecap, patellar tendon, and quadriceps tendon, and also treated the pes anserinus, biceps femoris insertion, and tensor fasciae latae. Techniques to reduce pain, boost circulation, and enhance your quality of life. But you already know that massage isn't everything. That exercise has to be the main tool to improve your health and the quality of your knees. And that's why I'm going to invite you to watch this other video that's going to appear where? Up here in the top right corner of the screen, where I'm going to show you a step-by-step method we use so you can get rid of your knee pain for life. Simple, no complications. The only thing you need is obviously time. Go into the video, watch it, get to the end because it contains a very, very special offer. That's all. I hope you enjoyed this video, watched until the end, and keep the techniques that work best for you. I didn't write everything down on a little piece of paper because we all know memory is pretty fragile, and if not, just come back to the video whenever you need it. I hope you can share it with your friends, your loved ones, those people who have knee pain, and I truly hope to see you again in one of my other videos. Bye, friends.